Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to BeAgainBooks. I'm Kathleen, and I'm so happy to be here today to share some creative fall journaling ideas using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So every season brings new affordable treasures. Instead of just showing you a typical shopping haul, you've seen those again and again, I wanted to show you the treasures I found this season, but also give you some great ideas for how I might use these supplies in a junk journal. I hope this video is helpful or at least entertaining. I've used a recycled cracker box to make the cover for this journal, and I've used a beautiful piece of upholstery fabric from my stash. I'll remind you that I have a video playlist showing how to do several kinds of journal covers, including this one. I have also sorted out 2 signatures using papers from my stash and some gorgeous William Morris digitals from Raindrop Lila. And I think there are a couple of pieces from her Timeless Beauty series also. I will list all of the digital kits that I've used in the description box. So the rest of the supplies come straight from the Dollar Tree. And as I turned on the camera, I was making this little pocket for the front cover. I've got this little bundle of other ephemera and embellishments that I have made for this journal, and I thought I would show these along with the supplies that I've used. So I'm going to take you back in time a bit and show you how I have altered some of the signature papers using the items from the Dollar Tree. And then I will bind the signatures, and then we'll finish decorating this journal with the elements that I've made, and then you can see the completed journal. Here we go. Okay, so you can see the problem is this magazine page is just too slick. And if I sand it too much, it's going to thin the paper, and I don't want that because it's going to be a pocket to hold other papers. So sanding it with the lightweight sandpaper just didn't give it enough of a tooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of matte gel medium, which is a type of glue. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the mat and put the mica powder into the matte gel, and then I'm just going to use a sponge and sponge it on. And I think because it's a glue, then it will bind the powder. So let's try that. Okay, we're back with the journal that is now finished, and I am surrounded by all these lovely Dollar Tree supplies that are so affordable and really accessible and lovely to use in fall journaling. So don't be fooled, it is several hours later. and I was going to do some work with you, but largely I have done it, and I just kind of want to show you the things that I have in the Dollar Tree haul and then show you where it fits in the journal. So before we go into the journal, let me remind you that you saw me use sandpaper, and you can get sandpaper at the Dollar Tree. So that's always helpful. In fact, that is the one tool that I just simply can't journal without. You've seen me do sandpaper before, and so I use two different kinds of grit. I use a medium grit for when I want a harder, like more scratchy look, and then I use this really fine, very fine grit just to kind of take the gloss off of things. So sandpaper, pick up some when you're at the Dollar Tree. And then secondly, you saw me use paper towels. Yeah, Dollar Tree has paper towels, and it's an affordable way to just make sure that you've got what you need to clean up. Okay, so I have used this beautiful vintage metal button here on the cover and done my usual elastic and beaded closure. So you can see how the cover looks. It's really pretty. So let's go inside. It is really pretty stuffed. In spite of trying to be more reasonable, it is really stuffed with things, dimensional things, really. And that's one of the problems. Okay, so you saw me making this pocket for the front cover, and that's so that I could cover up the area where the button sews in. And I have used these really beautiful laser cut craft icons. So they have owls, these whimsical kind of owls, and that would be fun for fall. But I've chosen to use the leaves and some roses in the journal. So I have one here at the beginning, along with the yarn that I like this yarn because it makes such great tassels. It's really fun fiber to add to tassels. And then the next thing I need to show you, first off, the foundation of any junk journal, of course, is paper. And the Dollar Tree they have typing paper, I should say copy paper. You can coffee dye it. They have all kinds of different papers. And I've used those before in junk journals, but the paper that I want to highlight today is this scrap bags of different papers that are just wonderful. And I picked up a package that was, this is probably two different packages that had more of the lighter kind of fall autumn colors. So I've used this paper pack throughout the journal, and I've used that here in the pocket. This is just a scrap from a paper bag, I think it was, but I really liked those little fine stripes on there, and I think that just fits really well into this front pocket. Okay, so I have this pretty sari silk ruffle here in the front, and this little sunflower charm is just from my stash, those two items. All right, so I've done some stamping, and this is the stamp set that I got at Dollar Tree, and I have used it a lot in this journal, and I really like it. It does a pretty good job. of stamping, but what I was really excited about is this stamping block. I've needed some more, but they are so expensive, like to buy in Hobby Lobby or wherever. So I was so thrilled. So you'll see this sunflower throughout the journal and this corner leaf stamp on many of the ephemera pieces. So look for stamps. They have all kinds. All right, here's this. I've done 3 or 4 of these, 3 I think. Just made some tabs out of that beautiful gold stiff paper and made it a tuck spot. This is from my stash catalog card, and just some sari silk, and used that stamp. Okay, the next thing is this pretty, oh, what do they call it? Adhesive, anyway, bling. I guess I didn't save the packaging for this, but I've used this. When I saw this at the Dollar Tree, I was pretty excited because I knew it would be so pretty for fall, and I've just used it in strips. You can cut it down to just 1 strip or 2 or 3. You could keep one color, or I did the whole ombre kind of colored strip. I've done that in 3 or 4 places throughout the journal. And then the other thing that I wanted to do here we'll clip that so that the page stays open. I wanted to show you these plus labels, page labels. I just really enjoy using these. I've used these just from the Dollar Tree, like the business paper section, and I've used them a lot in my junk journaling over the years and really like it, just like this neutral craft color. And then they also have these, which I also really like, particularly like this shape and these shapes. Here's some interesting shapes. So I want to take these and make this little sticker here at the top. And the reason why I like the white is then you can use distress inks or watercolors or whatever you want to do to color the petals. And then let's just take some chalk and we'll just put a little shading. I'm sorry for that rainbow. Want to know it would show up right now. Put some shading behind it, and then we'll just put this sticker there in the center of the top of that page. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks next to this page. Okay, so now I've just done this little ribbon. Dollar Tree has so many different ribbons that it's easy to choose something for your project. There's that stamp again. Here's our pretty angel calendar page. It's sanded. A little bit of vintage ephemera here. Here's our pages that were splattered. What the mica powders do is it just gives this little shine and shimmer to the page. And if you are using a pen in the journal, then you might want to use like a gel pen, because gel pens will write over just about everything. If it turns out that your pen won't write on these pages that have been treated with mixed media, then you might try a gel pen. That's what works for me anyway. So we have this. Okay, then one of the next things that I like to get at Dollar Tree are greeting cards and their envelopes. I often use the envelopes in my journal as well, and you'll see an envelope in the back. But they have often, especially in the sympathy cards, such beautiful cards. And sometimes it's worth 50 cents to me to get a really nice piece of ephemera. So this card, I cut it down, and you'll see the other part later in the book, but I cut it down and then made a flip up for more journaling, and then just the stamp on this index card. I haven't seen the grid cards in Dollar Tree, but they do have regular index cards that you can coffee dye. And then I just used the leaves from the flower stems and that leaf garland. I took the leaves and the flowers and have made a number of these elements. This was kind of bright, I felt like. They had a package of the big ones and another package of the small ones. And I just kind of took them apart, of course got rid of this bulky styrofoam bit here, and just dyed the petals and used a little brad instead. I also was thrilled in Dollar Tree when I found that they have washi tape. I have seen the little narrow washi tapes before, but they often have patterns that are just not my style. But I saw these and they were just plain, and I thought, I know I can use those. And I have made another strip on this greeting card. On this side, I have used, because in addition to greeting cards, I buy the thank you cards or the little note cards. And I felt like these were just really nice for autumn, and kind of just a different color scheme. And so I wanted obviously to cover up the thank you. And so I made this into this little flip out. So there's journaling space with the mica powders in there. And then I covered up the thank you with this little belly band. Another thing that they have in Dollar Tree that I think is fabulous are these little coin envelopes, and they have 3 different sizes. They have a small one, and they have a medium, and they have a large set also. So that's really lovely. 20 pieces for $1.25. That's going to come in handy. And I've just used it on this little insert for this belly band, and then done another little just a stamped index card. The napkin, Dollar Tree also has napkins. I don't think this one came from the Dollar Tree, because when I was buying these items for this fall journaling, the napkins that they had didn't suit me. And so this napkin has come from my stash, but it's possible that it came from the Dollar Tree. It's kind of a heavier weight napkin, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was originally Dollar Tree. Anyway, I just really like those pretty colors in the flowers. This is just a piece of vintage ephemera that I cut down in order to fit these colors. This is some Braille paper from my friend, fold out envelope, and used another greeting card, one of the labels, and some washi tape. And then these I thought were so interesting. They're little false wax seals. They're stickers. And I just think those are so cool and really wonderful embellishments for things like ephemera. And so I have several sets of these. I don't have the ability to do wax seals, so that kind of makes me happy to have that little detail there. Here's just some fabric from my stash that Okay, so here is one of those pretty embossed paper, And I've just used some other ribbon. Dollar Tree has these brass brads, and I use those sometimes. And I had wanted to put a little, just a simple little embellished card. I've just used that pretty, it looks like handmade paper, and trimmed it down and put some of these little wooden leaves along the side, and then that just fits right there. Lots of room to journal in this journal. Here's the other side of our angel calendar page where I did the sanded, the rubbing, and this is the paste with the mica powders in them. I've also used that to make these, just an index card. Used some of the lace. So Dollar Tree has this type of lace, and I have used it for years, and it is so versatile and handy. I try to keep a bunch on hand. I often put it along the edges of papers or along the edges of ephemera, and then I've just used the yarn to weave through that top bit right there. Here's one of the flowers that I've made with the leaves and the little paper flowers as well. Some washi tape. Here's another of the bling, and I will make a second sticker to go on the top of that page. Here's one of the little pieces of paper, and I've just used some more ribbon. This is some adhesive glitter ribbon, so you just peel that off, and then it's a self-stick ribbon. This is a little piece of ephemera with just some of the yarn in the top. More stamping. Here's another leaf edge that I've made. It's kind of elaborate with the flowers, and just this is just an onion bag. And I sacrificed, because it looked so well in this journal, I sacrificed a piece of eco-dyed paper that I got in a swap, and it just, the colors just match perfectly, and so I put it in here, and I've been hoarding it for a long time, years probably. Anyway, here is another decoupaged card behind this second of those tabs. Some stamping. This is just an index card that's been coffee dyed, and I put a little tab on it to fit there. This is the paste pushed through a stencil, the mica powders. Isn't that pretty? And then, of course, I've used some sequins for the flower centers. So a little pocket there. Some more washi tape. This is another piece of that pretty embossed brown paper, and I've just used a ribbon to come out and make a little tab there. Here is my K. And these I use all the time also. They also come in 2 different sizes, but I use these a lot, often replace the thicker bling, because these are thin, and so they don't make the journal quite as bulky, and so I tend to use these a lot, and I get them at Dollar Tree. This is just some shorts. Isn't that a pretty print? Yeah, with this pretty bling on the side. This is an antique ledger, and I have a pocket here in the middle. This is just some really old notebook paper. And I just have slid that on this side. And this is the other side of that, that the sentiment was here. May you find peace. I've left that. And then just covered the rest of this sentiment with this little tag. And that fits down in there. I have kind of folded this down. Here is, you can barely see it, some of the rub-ons. I don't have very good luck with these. I have tried them several times, and small ones I can sometimes make it work, but the large ones are difficult, and it really needs a smooth kind of paper, a surface paper, something with tooth. You can see doesn't work as well. And I felt like I could use that because fall leaves are often broken and skeletonized, so I don't mind it here. This shine is a little bit of the mica powders, and then I've just used a strip of the washi tape there. This is a little glassine bag that I have made, so you can get parchment paper at Dollar Tree. I have printed that on my printer with this pretty design, and then made a little bag. And I made a second tag from the paper, and this is embossed and folded. Pretty. There's that again. Here's the other side. There is another leaf, little flower. This is some texture paste, and I put the mica powders into that. It colored the paste a little, but you can't really see the glitter. The glitter that's in there is in the paper, not the paste. There's a little bit you can see. And I've just added a ribbon and a little pearl there. And this is just a game score sheet. So this is something really I've been wanting to try this. I have used the envelope from one of the cards, and I just have tucked the flap in and folded it to make this wraparound tuck. And I've seen these in the Dollar Tree and wondered whether it would work on paper. It's iron-on art, and it's meant, to go on t-shirts or tote bags. And I'm not sure that it would last very well in the wash, and so, but I wondered if it would work on paper, and sure enough, it does. So I just followed the directions and ironed that onto this card, and it gives this texture and the sparkle. I just think that's really great. And the other card that came in it, in this envelope, was this Thanksgiving card. I just felt like that was really beautiful, and so I've done my usual thing that I do with cards, and I have scratched it up and then done some sanded embossing. So that just fits in the envelope pocket here. And then on the other side, I have just made this little pocket with another little ephemera. And this, you can see I've used these little wooden pieces. I rubbed them with glue stick and stamped it on, and then used some gold foil. So my packaging is long gone, but I have seen little foil pieces in Dollar Tree, and so you could try it with that as well. But that was kind of fun. You just have to put an adhesive down, and then the foil will stick. And I used the stamp to make this little butterfly. some more of the napkin, and this is just some vintage rickrack from my stash. And that is just wrapping around this page. Here is another kind of fun piece of ephemera, I think. I've just used one of the pieces of that pretty handmade paper and put one of the gold pieces on a leaf and one of those laser cut designs. And I've just made that into a little tuck on the card. This was a piece left from cutting down that file paper that I had in the front. So I just did a stamp, some washi tape, and some book page just to kind of dress that up a little, and that can go right there. And then that just clips on with the paper clip, and there's room on this side for more papers. And here's the last page, which it has another little gold tuck and some vintage ephemera note paper. And here's the other side of that pretty eco-dyed paper. Here's the back, and again, the closure. There is that pretty autumn journal with supplies from the Dollar Tree, and I hope that was helpful. So I am going to list this journal on Etsy, and I will put a link in the description box along with all the other links that I need to share with you, to the digitals or to the playlists or other videos that I have talked about in this video. I won't do a separate flip through because we've just gone through this page by page. So I'm just going to have the regular Etsy listing with photos and description. And then I will be back with a new project. We still have one more style to do in our Style Wise series, and that is vintage. But that is my regular style. I love vintage, and so I will do a style board for it and then show the materials that I have for that journal. And we'll see you again with that series.